could have been stopped doing this shit. Only reason I do this shit cause the real niggas asked me to. A fake nigga couldn't relate to me. Top gunners, check me out. Only us, check me out. Strap her with a kilo, check me out. Put her on the bus, check me out. Stand up nigga, check me out. Always 100, check me out. You can bring the work back, check me out. If you don't want it, check me out. See, mama love me, that's my baby, but papa left me. Yeah, he left me. I put a bitch on timeout if she upset me. That's a fact. Fuck with me, you won't regret me. Still on the mind of every hoe trying to forget me. I get them things across the border. Your man on trial, but you won't go get him a lawyer. What's up with that? You poppin' bottles, you getting fly, but you don't send commissary to niggas that's inside. See, we don't coincide, we don't live by the same rules. And we done got hungry, these lanes became full. Real niggas in my corner, you know that I can't lose. And I can't go to jail for a body they can't prove. Got niggas in the fence, they never coming home. Can't never see they daughter, only talking through a phone. And you know we screaming free you forever. Treat your kids like they mine. Wait your turn, real nigga. You get rich in due time. I feel like Nino when he first opened the Carter. Check me out. I feel like Tony when him and Sosa became partners. Check me out. Bring me out crab legs and grill shirt for starters. Blame me young for my main meal. I'm a mobster, Ruger rap. Top gunners, check me out. Only us, check me out. Strap her with a kilo, check me out. Put her on the bus, check me out. Stand up nigga, check me out. Always 100, check me out. You can bring the work back, check me out. If you don't want it, check me out. I could have been stopped doing this shit.
How's everybody doing tonight with the live, man? I hope everybody's doing great tonight. Got a good show for y'all tonight. You know, like I said, I do the live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Of course, I won't be able to do the live this Friday. I have a business trip, but I will be back Sunday in time for Monday's live. And yesterday on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do the masterclass that I titled Black People, This Is Why. I have 16 episodes. I'm supposed to do it on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Excuse me. And I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday. My schedule didn't allow. But what I will do to make up for that, I'm going to not only do one tomorrow, I'm going to do two tomorrow. So like I say, Friday, I got to get in this business trip and take care of that. So tomorrow I'm going to pack, but I'm pretty packed already, but tomorrow, you know, get everything else, burn all the other ends on everything I got to do. And I'm going to get 2 videos, which is going to be episode 17 and episode 18 of Black People, This Is Why. If you don't understand why I named it that, you can go on my channel, and you can see the other 16 episodes to like understand why I named it that. Of course, I always explain it at the beginning of every episode. And it's just basically a masterclass on how to conduct yourself when you have a run-in with law enforcement. And I use real situations from body cam to let you know what this person did right, what this person did wrong, and what you should do to, in worst case scenario, at least go to jail. Or for the most part, respectfully, you probably get let go. But the worst case scenario, you go to jail. There's enough of dead bodies that been in the street. It's just enough of that. We got to be smart when we have run in with the police officers. Do they have bad police? Absolutely. But they have more bad doctors than they have bad police. They have more bad preachers than they have bad police. So y'all go to church every Sunday. Y'all go to the hospital when y'all need help. Of course, no one's perfect. The police are human beings just like you and I. And we got to respect them. They are authoritative figures of the land, and we need them. And everybody know that they need them. And the people who say F the police, whenever something happened to you, don't call them. That, you know, as the great Senator John Kennedy of my home state, Louisiana, say, call a crackhead. But I digress. But like I said, man, I got a good show for y'all tonight. I'm not under the weather. I'm all the way good now. I'm 100%. Might have a little sniffle, but I'm all the way good now. You know what I'm saying? So let's get in a nice show. Got a great show for you guys. But I heard something. I got a show that I like to watch called the Jessica Lee Peterson Show. Great show. Come on every day, 3 hours. I always try to make time to squeeze it in. I don't get to always look at it. Uh I don't always get to look at it all 3 hours because I'm so busy, but I try to fit it in my day somehow, some way. Um and it was an interesting call. A caller called. There was some interesting information, and I want to let you guys hear it. It's very I don't I don't know if it was humbling. I listened to it because I ain't gonna lie. And it's we always when we ask, one of the things on my channel I always speak about and this guy Justin Peterson, he has a thing where he always asks his guests on his show what's wrong with the blacks, why are they so, and they have different answers. And so this caller called in and said, you always ask what's wrong with the blacks, and I graduated from Stanford, and I actually have the scientific answer, should I say. Um, and it made sense. Being that I'm a historian and I know how black people were prior to the civil rights movement, um, and how great they were and how they depended on themselves and how they were thriving, how they wasn't killing each other, they wasn't divorcing each other. They wasn't always trying to be in competition. They wasn't always crying about racism this, racism that, and just they were doing for self. It was them God and family and community, and they were thriving. Uh you had multiple black uh Wall Streets throughout America. Of course, we know about the one in Tulsa, Overtown, Miami, and different places like that. But they were all over. Um, and it's very funny to me, and it's very sad and very unfortunate that we had that we had this during the Great Depression, during the 20s, before the Civil Rights Movement which was in 64 when the Civil Rights Bill was passed. But all doing Jim Crow and all that, we were doing fine. Soon as that came, Martin Luther King came telling you, hey, no, something's wrong. Uh, Doing for yourself is not good. We need to fuss with the white man so we can share the toilet with him. And that's what happened. And we turned, Martin Luther King turned a trying people into a crying people. He infected our race. He infected the black race with CRTD, which is civil rights transmitted disease. And it's still plaguing a lot of black people now, where every situation is they're whining about the white man. They can't be held accountable. It's the white man. If something they get caught up doing wrong, white people do it too. And it's just like the white man is their God, basically. They'll go to church and they'll say all the pretty little scriptures about no weapon formed against me shall prosper, and if God with me, who can be against me? But in that same mouth, they'll say how the white man is holding them back, and how they can't do this because of the white man, and how they got to work harder because the white man give them a hard time. And I always tell people that's demonic, because if you a sister, if you a woman or man of God, you are a holy priesthood, a royal people, a chosen people. It tells us that in Second Peter 2:9. Wait, no, First Peter 2:9. First Peter 2:9, it tells us who you are as a man or woman of God. And all things work together all things work for the good of those who call, and all things, not some things, all things. So you do have a hard time with anybody, and you a man or woman of God, it's gonna work together for your good. Romans 8:28, Romans 8:31. If God is for you, who can be against you? Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Not the white man. No weapon but the white man. No weapon but no weapon. But again, that is a membership. You have to be a man or woman of God, not Muslim, not Allah, not Buddhist, not none of that, not the ancestors of God. the thing that you inherit by being of God. And you know, back in the days, our people, that's what they believed in. And guess what? Even though it was a storm going on, they kept those things first. They kept the main thing. God, family, community, education in there. But God was the head, and God led them. And we know in the scripture, and in a lot of situations, people had to go through certain things for the next generation. And so, uh, the devil ain't nothing but a lie. Uh, sometimes you got to go through. Sometimes one generation got to go through it for the next generation. Basically, sometimes one generation got to cross so the next generation can walk, and the next generation after that can run. And so, you know, when you talk about slavery and all that, of course, when slaves got here, because again, slavery wasn't what a lot of people were told and what they think. Um, People were told that, hey man, you know, slavery was all about the white man went to Africa and just with some ships and said, you never get on the no, that's not what happened. Um, Listen, the white man came to America, he was building America, he needed employees, and the Arabs, our people in Africa sold us to the Arabs, and the Arabs made a contract with the whites that was in America, developing American, quote unquote colonizing America. And they got us. They came, got us, and some of us getting treated well. Some of us got treated well, but it is what it is. Again, some of those things had to happen for who we are now. Because I thank God I'm born in America, the greatest country on this side of heaven. I wouldn't have been one to be born in Africa. I don't care what you got to say about Africa. I want to be. I'm glad I was born here, and I thank the Lord that He had a plan for us to be born here, and I'm a child of God. So all of the things in the Bible, all of the membership items, all of the membership amenities in the Bible, they belong to me. And all things work together for my good, the good and the bad of my life, the good and the bad thing that happened to me. You will have obstacles in this life from your own self, sometimes from your family if you wasn't born in a two-parent household. Maybe you have disabilities. We all have obstacles that we have to overcome. But when we overcome those obstacles, we thank God for those obstacles because those obstacles create character. And so like I say, I don't got no issue with what happened. Things happen. And if we ever get on a situation of talking about reparations, well, Africa should have to pay first. Africa has a lot of minerals and all kind of stuff over there, diamond, gold. We should get started. If anybody gonna pay, they need to pay first. That's my stance on that. And if they did come down to America and it trickled down to America for the quote unquote bad treatment of slaves, I don't think they should give nobody no lump sum of money. I think what they should do is um the people who have been proven to be descendants of slaves, they should get at least an acre of land, and they should be able to get a free education, and they should be exempt from paying tax. That's my package on reparations. But again, that would open a can of worms because a lot of people would be messed up to understand that, hey, you didn't come from a slave, you came from a slave owners. Like every president, this has been found out that every president, even Barack Obama, because you know half of his mama side white, every president come from owners of slaves except Trump. Trump, the only one who is nobody his lineage owns slaves. Ironically, but he's the racist. But I digress. But again, I want to start the show, and of course, I'm gonna get into my topic. But before I get into my topic, like I was saying about the civil rights thing and how I feel like it was one of the biggest mistakes that happened to black people because it just turned us into a whining people, and we still haven't got over that. But this man always asks his guests, what's wrong with the black? Why are they so out of control? And again, so they had a guy who called up, and I'm gonna let y'all listen to it because he said something very interesting. And I just want y'all to hear it. Like I said, I got my opinion about it. It just, like I say, it's really hard to find out if it's true because you can't even go on Chat GPT or Google and ask a question dealing with black, because they always gonna tell you, they basically gonna tell you, hey, we can't answer that question about the marginalized people. But if you ask about white supremacy and that, they'll answer that. And so even Google and ChatGPT is woke, so they can't answer certain questions. So if you go in there and say there's a black person cranium smaller than a white person or anybody else, they're not gonna be able to answer that question. So you would have to be in the medical field or something like that there. And I mean, good luck with that. But so that we'll never find out if it's true, unless, like I say, you are in the medical field and you look into it. But I heard it, and it just was very humbling, because it could be true, and even if it is, doesn't matter, because my cranium, again, I'm a child of God, so my cranium is God like, hard body, God body. But so let's get into this, man. I want y'all to listen to this, and we'll get into the show after that. Oh, my bad. We're gonna upgrade the studio, y'all. Don't trip. We're gonna have it popping soon. Don't even trip. We're gonna have everything a little bit more professional. We get to it right now. We wiggly, biggly, biggly. So I'm gonna cut the light off, and I want y'all to hear, because I gotta bring the volume up. How much the volume? Let me see.
773. Let me go to Garrett out of Denver. Garrett, you are on the air.
Hey, sir, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Hey, so first off, wanted to say my brothers and I have listened to you for a long time, and we're big fans. I wanted to.
Are you a first time caller?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you. I wanted to finally give you the answers that you're looking for as to what's wrong with the blacks and what's wrong with the whites.
Okay.
So, quick little backstory, Jesse. I went to the #1 university in the world. They call it #1, Stanford University is up there in Palo Alto, California, just south of San Francisco.
Right.
So first of all, I went there for engineering, and I was also on the wrestling team there. So out of all the people, the students that go there, I had, a decent reason for being there. I can tell you with 100% certainty and without a doubt, it was a waste of time.
Yeah.
And and again, you've got guys that are there for, African studies, lesbian dance theory, and all this other crap.
Women's studies and all that stuff.
Yeah, just a mess, But so it's a waste of time. So you can put that baby to bed. Anybody that tries to tell you that, college is worth it, it's not. It's not at all.
Did you get in a lot of debt going to college?
No. I was actually, thankfully, I was on a full ride scholarship, so I didn't have to
right on
do all that. Yeah. So, but at any rate, so even though a lot of the students there are dumb, and wasting their time, there are a lot of smart people there, but they're, like doing research there, like Stanford Medicine. I'm sure you've heard of that.
Yes.
Well, at any rate, so my parents were there one weekend. I think it was like parents' weekend, and we were on the kind of the campus bus system, and we happened to be sitting next to this Asian guy, and he was the #1 brain surgeon in the world. And somehow we got to talking about, whites that go there, Asians that go there, blacks that go there. And, we started talking about the blacks that went there. And pretty much all the black people that go to that school, or any college for that matter, they're just there for sports ball, right? They're there for basketball, football, whatever. And he started telling us that one of the things he's discovered in his research, and they kind of suppress this information, but that black people have a smaller cranium than other races.
And I want y'all to listen to this very closely. Now, what you just heard him say is they suppressed it. Of course, they suppressed it because we know that if this was to come out, now, like I say, if this was to come out, first of all, it would be scientifically It'd have to go through before it gets scientifically proven. You would have the jam and cry because you know the usual suspect that will come running out of the Benjamin Crump. Oh, they trying to handle us black people. And if it came out to be true, that would open a can of worms. That would open a can of worms for the DEI, the affirmative action, and a whole bunch of things that, and black people basically crying this victim. This would be groundbreaking. So they can't let this out. So like I said, I don't know if it's true, and I'm not in the medical field. I'm probably not going to be in the medical field. So I probably will never know. But the thing about it is what he's saying is making, this guy's not lying. You can tell you're not lying. Because I know people might say, well, anybody can call up there and come up with something. And that's true. Because we're living in a world now where there's a lot of charlatans, there's a lot of imposters, there's a lot of wannabes, and it's so easy to get information out. So you can get a guy who will go get all his information, sit down all day and get information, and he'll go around people, and it's people doing it every day. And they'll go around people who are actually in that field, and they'll have conversations with them like they know what they're talking about. And it might if they lucky enough, they might squeeze them into certain situations. But anyways, however the situation may be, I believe what he's saying. Now, when it comes to what he's saying, I don't know if it's true, but I'm saying I believe he actually talked to a guy who found this out. And allegedly this guy was the #1 brain surgeon in the world. And that's just like I say, when I heard this, I said, I gotta share this because this is groundbreaking evidence. This is something that would shake the world, and this is very eerie that I've never heard this. It's very eerie that this has never came out. But again, he said this was an Asian doctor because that's what they doing. These people from Africa, Asia, India, they coming over here and they getting in the medical field, they getting in corporate America, and they doing what they got to do. But again, I don't want to get off too much into that. I speak about that, about how these people and black people are playing a game of their own that nobody else is playing. Everybody else playing the capitalism game and the education game, while black people are playing the social justice game and what I call the Instagram effect, the stunt, all about being seen and heard. But again, so like I said, I don't know if this guy is and I'm talking about the doctor, but I do believe everything he's saying. I just don't know. I don't have no type of, it's no, and like I said, there's no way I can find this information out unless I just so happen to meet a surgeon, a brain surgeon, and ask them this, and they were, willing to give me that information. But I just wanted to say that because this is very, very, very. When I heard it was crazy.
So I can't remember if it was like 8 millimeters smaller or 8 centimeters smaller or whatever it was, but whites and Asians have bigger heads, which means that they have a bigger frontal lobe. So with the blacks, it really just comes. My dad always used to say, life is an IQ test, right? And what's wrong with the blacks? They just don't have it mentally, right? They just can't. They can't, figure things out. They don't know how to be upstanding members of society. Like, I saw that train footage you were showing earlier with the white girl. That's that animalistic nature that they tend to have. And right? It comes from that.
And so, if that's the case, why is it that prior to the so-called civil rights movement, which was the worst thing that ever happened to the blacks, why is it that prior to that, black people were independent thinkers, they worked hard, they owned land, they would go to, if they wanted to go to college, they would go to a black college and come back, as professionals, meaning doctors and lawyers and stuff.
Now, I want y'all to hear this guy's response because Jesse follow-up question was, if what you're saying is true, how was it that black people were so successful prior to the civil rights movement? Now, watch this guy's response, and it just makes, I'm going to let you guys hear it.
Why is it that they were able to do and be, and prior to that, because if they have small brains, now they had to have them then too, right?
Yeah, so I think what happened there is before the civil rights movement, blacks kind of had to abide by societal norms, right? They had to be hardworking. They had to be individual thinkers. They had because society was run by white people.
But if
But I
your
think what
brains
happened
are
was
small, wouldn't their brains have been smaller then, and they still would not have been able to function?
correct, but they had to survive, right? And so in order to survive, you have to work. You have to exhibit traits that are
Like, for example, it was no divorce, it was no basically unemployment and all of these things like that. So what he's saying is they had to do this. Like it was a situation where it wasn't no situation where, hey, we can go and say the white man, we can go march and protest and get legislation changed. We can make people feel sorry for us, and they're gonna say, "Oh, we're gonna give you guys a civil right." It was they knew what it was. They knew what it was. They dealt with it, and they did what they had to do. In other words, he's saying that they basically was like animals in a cage, and so they were behaving because they were caged animals, and then they had to behave, right? But once they said, you know what, y'all free like everybody else, it showed that hey, these people really are not meant to be free people. These people are supposed, and when I'm not talking about slavery. I'm talking about like with the Jim Crow laws, how black people couldn't do this, black people couldn't do that, black people couldn't go certain places. So it wasn't no, oh, we're going to deal with the white people. We're going to do it. We had to work. We had to go to our schools. We had to stay in the neighborhood we had to stay in our neighborhood. So of course, naturally, we're going to beautify the neighborhood we in. When we come from college now, when a black person go to college, especially when they going to college to be a lawyer or a doctor, they getting out the hood. They going to stay around the white people. But they didn't back then. They had to stay in the same neighborhood. They couldn't go to other grocery stores, so they had to create their own grocery stores. And the reason why I wanted to highlight that is because I tell people all the time. I remember one of my Italian friends. He invited me on a live, and he was just basically asking me, what do I think can cure this race issue that we have going on in America? And I said, I think we both need to catch our corners. I mean, I understand there's other people in America, but I'm speaking on the black people and the white people because there's a real kind of like tension between them, mostly coming from the black side because they are infected with CRTD and their leaders are constantly passing this disease on, civil rights transmitted disease. And so I think we should just catch our corner. White people should say, look, we go in our corner. We gonna just leave y'all alone. Y'all not bullying us no more. Y'all not bullying us no more. The white liberals, we gonna get them in order because that's our people. And y'all just go in y'all corner, basically segregate again. So black people will realize that it's not the white man holding them back. The white man, it's not their problem. They got a situation in my hometown where a 13-year-old young man was killed by gun violence last week. And outside of the person who killed him, somebody else seen what happened. But black culture is so degenerate and trash that nobody is coming forward to give information on who killed this 13-year-old baby. I can't even say young man. It was a baby, 13 years old. Because in our culture, it's no snitching, right? So we got a trash culture. This culture that we are currently living in as black people has to be dismantled and redone. It's no fixing it. Like, when something break, you can fix it. When something break, you can fix it. You can put it back together. But when something shattered, you just got to throw it away. It's total. You got to just get a new one, right? And this culture has to be completely dismantled. The gender war, the single mother, the divorce, the black woman and the main character syndrome and the pride, this whole the rap music gotta go with it. We gotta destroy it. And I tell people all the time, man, I'm gonna keep my community in prayer. I'm gonna keep America in prayer. But I just don't know if the black people can overcome because this world don't have that much more long. If you go look at my video I created Sunday called "The End Is Near," here's why. You'll hear what I'm saying. That we don't, and I I give data based on what I'm saying. I just always how I feel. The world don't have that much more time left. And I just don't see black people fixing it and getting it together. It's gonna be a few of us, because I was a degenerate at one time. I'm not coming on here trying to play like, oh, I was good at two shoes all my life, tiptoe and do the tutor. I was a part of the problem at one point again, but 8 years ago when I came to, well, I was raised in a 2-parent household. My dad was a preacher. I come up in a Christian home. When I really got serious about my relationship with God in 2018, things began to tug at my heart. Politics. You can't be a Democrat and be a Christian, man. I looked at the black community crazy because I've been in the black community my whole life, and it's like I didn't really see no issue. But when the spirit of God, that's how I know. When the spirit of God in, the truth has set you free. I was free. I was free. And I just began to see stuff like, damn, we really killing each other. Damn, we really abort. Damn, and I'm like, man, we got to fix this. And, I started on that journey, very painful journey, not painful for me, but for most people. Because when you get on that journey of trying to hold black people accountable, you're going to get ousted. You're going to get talked about. You're going to be persecuted. But again, like I say, I'm built for it. Everybody not. But especially women. That's why I think the women that's on that type of time, they need men, strong men. A conservative woman has to be with a strong masculine man. But anyway, and so, and that's just my thing. So, like, we gotta fix it. But like I say, man, I'm be honest with you. Just looking at how much time we got left on this earth, I don't know exactly how much time, but I know it's short. And just looking at all that, I'm just pessimistic. I'm no longer optimistic about the black community being fixed. What we can do is fix ourselves first. We can fix ourselves first, meaning individually, and light candles. And whoever candle we light, if they stay lit and don't let the world blow out what we got to get them, they can go light another candle. And so that's what we got to do, like doing this, making content. I wouldn't say it's your job if you're a person who, got to get your money, because I know certain things not supposed to be talked about in the workplace. But we got to do what we got to do, man. And that, that's pretty much all I got to say. But I just wanted to say that. So let's continue.
That are good for society. But like you said, the civil rights movement destroyed all that, because what happened is they came in and they said, hey, you don't have to be individual thinkers. You don't have to do all this work or anything. You can do whatever you want. You can pursue your own avenue, right? And then we saw how that ended up, right? They pursued gang violence, drugs, whatever, right? So I think that's that. Now, on the topic of the whites, because I know you've asked us a lot.
Let me ask you, you may yes or no. So if black people were required or made to be independent again, don't give them any money from the government, don't allow them to blame anyone for their lack of knowing how to live, when they become that way again, where they can be smart and work hard and be independent and individual.
Correct. Out of necessity, correct, because they would have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So real quick, what's because of time, what's wrong with the whites is it's actually, what's wrong with the whites is the same thing that makes them so great. So when you think about what white people have that other races don't have, it really comes down to one word. And, Hate can back me up on this, and when I say this word, you're going to know I'm right on the money. The word is integrity, right? White people have integrity. Like if you're walking down the street and you drop your wallet, right? If there's a white guy behind you, you got a 99.99% chance of them saying, hey, you dropped your wallet, and trying to get it back to you, right? You got a black or, Hispanic or whatever behind you, odds are you're probably going to lose your wallet, or you're going to lose all your money in the fall, right?
Wow.
But unfortunately, what that means, Jesse, and again.
Hey, listen, I'm 37. I'm not 87. And I'm not 27 either. And what he just said, it may hurt, but it's the truth. And I'm speaking on the rule, not the exception. Because I know some black people such as myself. I know my mother, and that's two people I can vouch for. I know they would say, hey, man, look, you dropped your wallet. I've done it. But majority of black people, he right. They'll hit a lick.
You talk about this all the time, but because they have integrity, they're very individualistic, which as you know, that's the way you should be living life, right? As an individual.
Yeah.
But what that means though is that they're distracted competing with each other. Whereas, the Somalis in Minneapolis, but the Mexicans, that live, even here in Denver, right? They all work together, right? A perfect example, right? I live here, and as you know, Denver's an absolute mess, right? You got the Tren de Aguas running around, you got this, you got that. Well, I'm here with my family in one house. I'm the sole provider, going to work every day, etc. And right next door, you've got 20 Mexicans living in one house, right? Yeah. And back in the olden days, as I'm sure white people used to live together on a farm. They used to pool their resources. They used to do all this, but what's happened is, because they're so individualistic, right? White people are going to do the best job that they can do by themselves, right? Without asking for any help, right? They don't think that they are a group in and of themselves. So they don't work together. They compete with each other. Meanwhile, like I said, you got all these guys running rackets and leeching off the government and, doing all this stuff to get ahead. Meanwhile, white people are just there competing with one another. Now, I think that's changing. I think white people are waking up to the fact that, we do need to have, you don't want to have the group mindset, like you say, right?
Right.
But you need to be aware of the fact that we are a unique group of people. And I think some white people are starting to wake up, and kind of come together a little bit. But yeah, I mean, like you say, with the Super Bowl is a perfect example. I've got a buddy who he worships football, and I'm sitting there and I'm going, well, did you see the Black national anthem?
Yeah.
Did you see the halftime show? Like, why are you watching that?
Yeah. Give me a quick answer to this. Who is smarter, blacks or Mexicans?
So, and this goes back to actually the doctors.
Give me a quick answer to that.
Mexicans, because they on average have larger heads. And hey, you know what? The proof, Jesse, right there is the two smartest black guys that I know, and I'm sure other people, are you and Thomas Sowell. And you guys got huge heads.
I got my dad. Blame my daddy for that. What? Amazing.
So now you know. Anytime you ask what's wrong with the blacks, their heads are too small.
That's amazing.
Their heads are too small.
Thank you, Gary. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
All right, but amazing. So, do you believe blacks' heads are smaller than whites?
I suppose it's possible.
You ever heard that before?
I feel like I have heard that before.
Yeah.
But
blacks used to be so smart and independent when they were independent people.
People underestimate the dumbness that anger and attitude and pride brings.
I think definitely.
Yeah,
They didn't have all that anger
right.
prior to the civil rights.
Indeed.
Super chat.
Walking Roscoe says, we love you, Eduardo. Never, ever, 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 but never give up.
And yeah, man, that's all I wanted to speak on with that. So let's go into our topic. I wanted to start off with Kim Kardashian. I seen something about Kim Kardashian, and it was very interesting to me. And it was speaking about how I'm gonna pull it up for you guys just so I can quote it correctly. Here's the post here, because if you guys don't know, this is the post here. I don't know if you guys can see it. And the post says, how Kim Kardashian still gets top celebrities even with 1,000 body counts needs to be studied. Because of course y'all know she's a billionaire now because she has stock in Yeezys, and Skims is I think her brand. But she's a certified billionaire. And she just so happened to get with this guy, Lewis Hamilton. And if you know Kim Kardashian, you know she always had the cream of the crop. maybe not she never had a LeBron James or nothing, but well, Kanye is one of the best rappers that ever did it. He's one of the most successful rappers. But so she got her. So right now, excuse me, she dated them all, and right now she's in a relationship with a guy by the name of Lewis Hamilton. Now, if you guys are familiar with Lewis Hamilton, he's an F1 driver. He's worth almost $500 million, billion with a B, and he's with Kim Kardashian, despite her past, despite her being a single mother. And again, in this post that somebody said, how she continues to get high, quote unquote, high value men needs to be studied. And I want to speak on that real fast. And after I speak on it, they got a video that I want to play for you guys by this young lady by the name of Chevy Caprice. And I'm trying to see what video should I play first. But this lady, Chevy Caprice, I don't know if you guys know her. Go follow her on all social media platforms. I like a lot of it. I don't agree with everything the sister said, but she is a wise sister. She's a very wise sister. She seemed like she's kind of humble. She's not one of those prideful sisters like most of our Black women. And like I say, she has a lot of wisdom, and I salute her. One day I'm gonna have her, Dana Dane, uh, Love Dorsey, and Paradise Paris. You know all of them. They all kind of like now. Love Dorsey the cream of the crop, but like the rest of these women, they some wise Black women. They beautiful, they wise, they humble, they not. I like them. I like them a lot, and I love to have them all on the panel together. But I digress. So yeah, I'm gonna play.
I just had a guy's.
I'm gonna play Chevy Capri. Before I play Chevy Capri, I really want to speak on the Kim Kardashian. The reason why Kim Kardashian, see, this is what people don't understand. And this is what a lot of our Black women don't understand. And this is why a lot of them they can't get one husband, they can't get no good man. It's not because they got children, as I said. And I know people might say, well, you comparing the average woman to Kim Kardashian. But again, Kim Kardashian is a known, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful for her because I love Kim. I'm a big Kim Kardashian fan. But Kim Kardashian is a high class 304. Let's just be honest about it. She's a single mother. She's a liberal woman. I mean, she's a modern liberal woman. But she and you might say, well, she's beautiful, she's famous. But you know, it's plenty women that is beautiful and famous, and they don't have the relationship success that Kim Kardashian does, especially with Black men and men of color. Because I don't know if Lewis Hamilton is Black. But and it's something got to be wrong with her because you know, from my standpoint, she seemed like this sweet, beautiful, just perfect woman. But I've seen situations like when she got married to Chris Humphries, and I believe they got the wedding annulled in like 72 days. Like, how bad could a marriage be? How bad could somebody be that you got engaged to them, so you must have really, really, really liked them. You didn't make them just one of your females, or you know, so you must have really, 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 really liked this person to the point where you proposed to them, get married, had a big old wedding, and then after that, after less than 90 days, y'all getting divorced. So that was kind of weird, but I'm just saying, so it's some issue with her. Not to mention, again, she's liberal, and dealing with liberal women is very tough. You're going to either have to be a castrated, weak beta man to deal with them, and then they still going to handle you bad and cheat on you and do you bad. So you have to be masculine dealing with these women, and most of the time, they just, the Jezebel spirit in them is not going to allow them to submit to that. And if you somebody who got a lot of money, they'll play along for as long as possible, but they're going to have them somebody on the side because that's just not the type, and they're going to always be playing the exit route. Because that's just not the Jezebel spirit has to be over. It has to lord over the man. They can't be in no submission to the man. They can't be in a regular role. But the thing about the Jezebel spirit and the thing about Kim Kardashian, why she can get these men, that's why I want to speak about it, is she's extremely feminine and she oozes sex appeal. What I've learned from my life, some of the women that I've dealt with who were kind of promiscuous, had children, And some of my friends, which is at this point in my life, all of my friends are high value men. They run businesses. They're successful. They're engineers. They're in law. They're lawyers and stuff like that. I'm not because I'm not talking to the hood dudes. I don't really hang with hood dudes or be around them that much. At this point, I'm work too much to be around that type of energy because when you around hood dudes, not to really go too deep in it, you might be going kicky with your hood homeboy one day, and the police just so happen to kick the door that day. They're not gonna ask no question. Might get in a shootout for some beef he got going on. Those shooters not gonna ask no question. Oh, he don't. So it's just dangerous to hang around them. But again, as a child of God, I'm covered by the Psalm 91 prayer. So by me hanging on them, if something was supposed to happen today, it's not gonna happen. So I want to keep that in mind. But that's just too low frequency. My conversation and their conversation is like apples and oranges. It's just, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't even say apples and oranges. I'll say apples and dirt. It's just two completely different, and it's just really nothing there. So I'm not saying I'm trying to be condescending or puritanical, like I'm better than nobody, but it just no, it doesn't make sense for my life at this point to be around those type of people. So, these type of people, they are low frequency, so they'll date low frequency women, have baby mamas, you know how they go. But I'm saying when you talking about guys who are the 1% of the world who are successful, as Kevin Samuels used to call them Henrys, high earners, not rich yet, or some of them already rich, realtors and people in finance, they can have any woman that they want. And so the first thing that they always going to be attracted to, of course, is looks. But looks don't always keep a man. What keeps a man is compliance, which is femininity, being feminine. You automatically when you in your femininity, you automatically going to be submissive because you're going to be, in your femininity. And again, you ooze sex appeal. Now, sex appeal doesn't mean you are an hourglass. Sex appeal means you keep your aesthetics up, you keep your hair done, you got a skincare routine, you keep your nails done. I'm not saying no big long nails, I'm saying you keep everything on you pretty, you smell good, you just soft, your whole vibe is just soft. And men like that. Men tend to get around that, and it's hard to look at anything else. And especially in a time now where femininity is dying because the Jezebel spirit is rising. When a man get around a woman who, now again, I want to say this, the Jezebel can masquerade like that. Maybe that's why Kim Kardashian doesn't able to keep a man because she's able to masquerade, and then once she get in a relationship with you guys say, "Whoa, I don't know what I dealt with. Let me get out of this. I don't know." But she comes off as very, 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 very feminine, very soft. And like I say, that's what men of value want. They want a woman who is going to basically just and this is the thing, and this is why black women do so bad when it comes to relationships. Because number one, a lot of black women, it's not their fault. A lot of them came up in single parent households and they don't know what it's like to have, they don't know what it's like to see a man take care of their mama and have their mama like in a real put up soft era. Their mama working all these hours. And so the mom and the grandma project on them to, hey, look, make sure you don't get pregnant for the wrong. I mean, make sure you don't settle down, date them all. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. And this is the nonsense they speak to their daughters, and their daughters grow up and all they mindset on. And then they'll have like you'll go on a date with them, and all they talking about is what they do, and they not really sometimes, not all the sometimes they not even really trying to basically what I'm trying how I want to put it. They not really trying to be in competition. Some of them are. A lot of our women are in top competition with it, but some of them not even trying to be in competition. But they trying to, especially when they know you're a man of value, they just trying to prove themselves that, man, look, I ain't gonna need you to take care of me. I can take care of myself. But again, what they don't understand is that is a turnoff for men. And again, when you dating a man of high value, he don't care about your money. He not gonna want your money. And another thing, what they don't understand is they don't have to worry about being a gold digger because if they be in their true femininity and they true soft girl era, a dude gonna get him anything. And again, he not gonna look at it. Because I've dated women who not in the best shape, but the femininity drew me to them, and I just couldn't let go. And they had children and everything else, but it was that femininity, that soft compliance. I'm not talking about no slave. Yes, sir. How jump like on coming to America. I'm talking about the energy of a real lady, right? Aesthetics on point, always taking care of herself, and just very feminine. Baby, can you take care of this? Or babe, let's do this. Or and it was, everything came from her. Even if she wasn't in agreement, it still come in a soft space. It still come in a feminine vibe. And when men get that, especially in this day and age, they just don't want to let that go. And that's what Kim Kardashian has, and that's why she can keep any man, and that's why she can get any man. Now, keeping a man, that's another issue, right? Because your true color is going to eventually come out if that's not really who you are. And again, Kim Kardashian is Jezebel. I hate to say that about her, man, because I just love her so much, but I gotta call her spade a base. She just come off as she had a Jezebel spirit over her, very strong, and so they, like I say, the Jezebel spirit is very charming, especially to a weaker man that she want to lord over. But the thing with that is, if you get with her and you're a weak man, she's gonna have more than one of y'all. She want more than one, right? So you have to be in that masculine, godly energy. Not no slave master. Do what I say. I'm talking about that masculine, godly energy. And we know that God is love. Love is God. Just like we gotta submit to God, and He shows us love. He don't force us, and so a lot of time our women hear submission, our black women, and they just, oh my God, But yeah, man. So that's why she can keep it, man. So that's why I always tell women, man, you gotta be in your femininity. You stay in that femininity, and you keep your sex appeal together, you can get any man you want. Now, keeping him, you're gonna have to work on yourself inside. If you got something in you that's unhealed, you need to heal it. And again, that man, if he's in his masculine God energy, he's gonna heal it, right? So this is why and for the women who listen to this, you gotta fix yourself and get yourself together if you feel like you unhealed. But a lot of time, our women, man, I've dated women. I know dudes. Some of my friends, they'll say, "Man, she was bad, and I might keep her on my roster, but I don't want to marry her because she's too, and all she talking about is what she doing, and this, that, and the third. I can't really, you know what I'm saying." And another thing about high value men that I've learned, they want available women. They don't want to come home after a long day of work and taking care of business or running their business or being a lawyer, whatever they doing, and they might want to come home and get their rise up. And they don't want to hear, "Hey, I'm tired, I've been working all day." But if you dealing with a woman who out here trying to conquer the world like you, then you might have to deal with certain stuff like that. And high value men just don't have the time for that. And so I want y'all to hear this video from this woman. And I'll react to it as she go through it. But I really like what she said in this video. And like I say, this is my girl Chevy Caprice. And ladies, take notes. That's all I'm gonna say.
I just had a guy say, Chevy, you're the only woman that I could think of that could answer this question. Because every time I ask other women, they either don't give an answer, they dance around the answer, they give excuses, or they just flat out say they are the table. What do women bring to the table besides sex? Every table needs something different. Okay. Everybody is in a different space in life. Everybody got their own thing going on. I will say this though. If you are a man and you're asking a woman what she's bringing to the table, and that woman cannot answer that question, or she automatically gets defensive while answering that question, or she says things like, I am the table, I advise you to leave that woman alone because she's giving you the answer. She's either letting you know ahead of time that she's a woman that is willing to challenge you. She's a woman that has some type of rebellion in her. She's like not cooperative because it's a simple question. Or she's a woman that's just straight up telling you and showing you that she has nothing to bring to the table. It's that simple. So you should not even entertain a woman who cannot answer a simple question. There is no copy and paste answer to the question because I do believe that every man is probably requiring something different to bring to the table. And every woman is offering something different to bring to the table. I also think what is another red flag is that when women just answer that question and it sounds rehearsed, like, oh, I cook, I clean, I can wash his clothes, I can be supportive on his, bad days. And be careful with women like that too, because that's not an authentic answer. That's a pop the balloon, rehearsed, internet. I heard this a million times. Let me give this typical answer type of, that's a typical answer. When you're asking a woman a question like that, you need her to have a customized answer that fits her, something that she shouldn't have to think about. That's why I don't see what's so hard about women answering the question. It's either you got something valuable to bring to the table or you don't. The man asks me, what am I bringing to the table? Personally, I am in a season in my life where I am genuinely willing to bring whatever I have to bring to the table for things to work. I am a woman that is very resourceful. I know for a fact I can bring resources to the table. I am a woman of opportunity. I am a woman that knows plenty of people. I am a woman that can get an answer. I am a woman that can bring answers for whatever the man might need. I'm also a girly that don't have a problem going 50-50, 60-40, 70-30. I'm so well past, my brain is evolved past that type of small thinking. It doesn't matter what we bring to the table to get the job done. I am wanting to win at this point in my life. And so not the sun just came and blinded me. When I say that I can bring answers, I also mean I'm a woman that brings a really different perspective, a strong perspective, a different mindset to things. I know sometimes men, y'all make real impulsive decisions. Sometimes you need somebody else to, babe, you probably should take the time or babe, just offering a different outlook on things. I am also a woman that is not boring, because outside of us giving these Statue of Liberty answers, like, oh yeah, I can help him do this, do this, do this. Can you have fun together? Are you a person that's fun? Can a man take you into a room and you light up a room and you just a woman that is sociable? Are you awkward? Can he trust that you know what to and what not to say in public? Like, it's just so much that goes into what a person really can bring to the table. I can bring some energy. I'm fun to be around. I'm goofy. I'm a ball of energy. I'm a woman that brings understanding to the table. I'm a very compassionate individual. I literally know how to understand things from somebody else's point of view. I give people a chance. I'm a very understanding individual. Sometimes you need some deep understanding, to be able to understand when today just ain't the day. Brings nagging to the table. I'm an observer, but I'm not really a nagging woman. You don't really got to worry about me nagging you too much. I'm an extremely, extremely loyal woman. I'm bringing loyalty to the table. But I genuinely just think that I hit a point in my life where I'm just willing, I'm just willing to listen. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to do, I'm willing to help. I'm just willing to do whatever we need to do to get to the next point, because I genuinely understand that right now it you can get it done by yourself, but it's getting hard out here. It's really going to end up taking two people no matter what to really get to that next step. And I do feel like right now the world is kind of in the woman's court right now, and that's not to disrespect no man. That's not to belittle no man. That's not what I mean. What I mean is right now in the world, it just seemed like a lot of job opportunities are opening up for women, and I do feel like instead of women, putting back into the situation, there is a lot of women that's just running around feeling like, yeah, because we is the men with the money and we don't need no man for money. And yes, women are definitely getting to their back, but it seems like women are now challenging men in a way where it's like they're not wanting to help. It's just straight up like, I got this, I got that. Now what you got? You can't, like, it's just weird out here. But it's all mindset. And if you're a person that's just wanting to grow, you got to find somebody else that's just wanting to grow with you. Somebody that's not sitting up having some petty childish conversations about 50-50 and about who gonna pay what and who gonna, man, a real union understands it don't matter who pay what, who do what, we moving forward. It's gonna be some days where you just gonna be the person that's gonna have to steer, you're gonna have to drive, and the other person might not be up to it or probably can't do it. However it goes, you gotta find somebody who is just willing to get the job done, not assigning a specific, you gotta do this, man, no, there's no winning in that. There's going to be some women that's going to look at this video and they're going to say, she's a pick me, because I am able to articulate some qualities and things that I'm able to bring to a table because I'm confident in what I am and who I am. Some of these things I offer may not even be good enough for a man somewhere, and I'm okay with that. But fellas, if you ask a woman, what does she bring to the table, and she can't answer that question, I personally would say just don't even deal with her. because she's showing you two things. She's showing you one, that she's already combative. She's already ready to challenge you. She's just not willing to, she's not even a team player. She don't even have a simple answer for you on a simple question. Or two, she simply doesn't have much to bring to the table. Either way it go, what they say, the squeeze ain't, the juice ain't worth the squeeze, whatever, just keep going.
Great video,
I
man,
just had
from
a
my
guy say,
sister,
Chevy,
man.
you don't.
And I want to speak on that, man. She had some pretty good points, and she's a humble, like I say, she's a wise young lady. She's at a point in her life. I don't know how old she is, but it seems like she's at a point where it's like, you know what, all that nonsense, and she's still very beautiful. I guess she's like, you know what, it's time for me to settle down. Whether she coming from a standpoint of she ready for somebody to help her in her life, or she just wants somebody to do life with. Either way it go, I feel exactly where she's coming from. But I'm gonna say this here, and this is one of the things that I'm speaking about. She spoke on a lot of things. Speaking of, and she, of course, she take care of her aesthetic. She sexy. Of course, she got that black woman in her, so you know how that go. But she's speaking about the table situation, and I think that's a social media podcast nonsense that came up where men ask women, what they bring to the table. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Now, the thing that she said she brings to the table were all great things. She's fun, she's resourceful. She'll be the one who may look, book something for us. I'm gonna pay for it, but I want you to pick it because women be more on which traveling and all that. That they be both savvy and all that in those type of areas. Um, but this is the thing, and I'm gonna tell my daughter this, and this is my thing. If a dude asks you what you bring to the table, I just think that that's not the guy for you. Because going back to what I said again, if you in your natural femininity, your aesthetics, you taking care, you got your sex appeal up to par, men not gonna ask you these type of questions. Now these guys that have been watching these podcasts, didn't have a father in their life, they may ask you something like that. But see, if you gotta ask a woman something like that as a man, you shouldn't be dealing with her. You should date this woman, get to know this woman, and if you she may not be perfect, but if the qualities that you see in her, you feel like you can develop, you feel like you can um make her as a better woman, which as a man, your job is to make her a better woman, and you willing to protect her, and you willing to give your life for her like Christ died, like Christ gave his life for the church, as God tells us to do in Ephesians 5. Then you get with that woman, and you make her better, and y'all. But all of this, hey babe, what you bring to the table? That's nonsense. If you ain't in position to take care of 80% financially of the relationship, you shouldn't be dating. As a man of God, I don't support recreational sex, unmerited sex. But you just gotta, go get you a concubine. But when it comes to getting a relationship, which you should be dating with a purpose. If you're a certain age, if you're 30 plus, you should be dating with a purpose. Your 20s, you should really be focusing on your life and getting your bag together. But if you 30 plus, um, you should be dating with a purpose. I mean, hey, I'm not your fault. I don't know your life. Everybody's life whole different married, but I'm just saying as a man, especially as a man who trying to build wealth, trying to build legacy, you need to be dating. You don't want to be dating all these women, messing around and have all these baby mamas. You know what I'm saying? And this is the conversation that black men need to have. Um, because so many of our black men, they have no control over their sex, their penis, and a lot of them make blow and mess up a lot of situations in their life because they had no control over their penis. And we see it all the time with basketball coaches. These NBA players got 3 and 4 baby mamas. These rappers, these women are getting pregnant by these men, and you can't get mad at them because they didn't rape the man. They see these type of women, and these are the type of women that I'm talking about. Now these women are Jezebel women who they keep their aesthetic, they keep themselves, they body, they work hard for it to get around these certain type of men, and they only objective is to do one or two things: get him to marry her, so whenever she get ready to leave, she can take half of his stuff, or have a baby with him. And once they have a baby with them, they life is took care of. These dudes paying these women, so some of these dudes paying these women hundreds of $1,000s a month. Now you think they need that to take care of baby? Absolutely not. But for 18 years getting that, because of what this guy makes, and if he make more, you can get it adjusted and all that type of stuff. It's just crazy, man. And that's their whole mission, to get one of these guys and live off the baby. And like I say, they keep their sex appeal together, they aesthetic, and they keep their femininity. These women ain't arguing with no man. You know what I'm saying? These talking about they not doing none of that. They trying to quote unquote bag a baller. And so um, you know, dealing with, like I say, Chevy, like I say, if you a dude who can't take away, if you can't take care of a relationship 80%, you just don't need to be in a relationship, bro. Just let it go, bro. And wait, you know what I'm saying? You gotta get it off your chest, bro. Do what you gotta do, but don't go get no relationship, bro. And for women, if a man asks you what you bring to the table, I mean, this is not a game. This is not YouTube podcast land. This is real life. And as a woman, if you in your natural femininity, you got your sex appeal up to par by taking care of everything, as I said, your aesthetic and being pretty, skincare routine, and everything. And if you just keep your body in shape. But again, if your femininity all the way up to par, you can have children, men that look over all of that because they want that girl in their life. You feel me? That, the soft version of them. And you know, you don't have to bring nothing to the table. It's not about looking at it from the standpoint of all she bringing to the table is vagina. That's all she need to bring to the table as a woman. If she in her natural femininity, if she take care of herself. Now, taking care of the home and taking care of your children, if y'all decide to have children, being a godly woman, following in your lead in all that type of way, that's all amazing. But I'm saying, from the offset to really like, and that's why I say, women, if you want to go get degrees, you want to open you up a bit, you want to do all of these things, I'm not telling you not to do it. But your main investments should be in your femininity, being godly, number one. Because being godly, and as you strengthen your relationship with God through prayer and daily prayer and fasting and reading scripture, the script God is, because some women, they just hard from life. But God can soften you up for your husband, right? So if you don't know how to be feminine and it's just tough for you because you always in survival mode and all of the men in your life left you, you meet this right guy and you run him off because you always, I'm gonna do, like, just calm down, chill out, take care of yourself, invest in taking care of your body, working out, taking supplements, skincare routines, having your nails done, your hand manicure, pedicure, keeping yourself together. And when you meet the right man, you're not gonna have to bring nothing to the table because just that is what you're bringing to the table. That's why the scripture tells us that, and we know we know that God gave Adam Eve. We know in scripture in 1 Corinthians 11:9 say God gave man, God created woman for the man. He didn't create man for the woman. He created the woman for the man to be his helpmeet, to be his glory, right? And so if you're that glory, you're that man peace, and you're in your femininity, that's what you bring to the table. And you're supposed to not have to say that. You're supposed to showcase that in your actions. That's why I support and I always preach a dating phase. We're not doing that anymore. We're meeting people via Instagram, via Facebook, via Messenger, sending a few texts, linking up, having sex. We have to date. And I'm not telling you what you need to do in your relationship. You may not believe in God. I believe in God, so I don't believe in premarital sex. I understand we all weak, and that's why God died for us, for our sins. So, to always be there and forgive us if we slip up. We're not supposed to be slipping up on purpose, but I mean, things happen. But I digress on that. What I'm saying is, you need to go to a dating phase. You need to go through a dating phase so you can learn this person when they had a bad day, when they had a good day, how they treat people in public that they feel is beneath them, how they treat their family. Now, family is not always a thing because you could not know the past that this person have with a family. Because I hear people say they don't treat this person, their family right, but you don't know that person, the history with that person, that family member. So you really don't get it family business. But I remember one time I was dating a chick that I liked it, and we went in a restaurant and she was extremely rude to the waitress. And after that, I was done with her. Because this was a woman, now the woman I was dating, I think she's in the medical field. I don't remember what she did. It's been so long. But she felt like this waitress was beneath her. Oh yeah, I might go. I even take her to fast food. One day I might go to let's go to McDonald's. Do you? Because a lot of people treat fast food workers bad. How do you treat fast food workers? You know what I'm saying? So you got to treat everybody like a human. Treat everybody sweet. Because again, that goes into your femininity. How sweet and friendly you are, not just with me, with other people. All of that rah, that's not femininity. Cursing, that's not femininity. Vile language, that's not femininity. That's not ladylike. Now Tyrone and Pookie, they like all that. But if you're trying to get around these guys who could potentially be the guy who's gonna take care of 80% or more in a relationship and let you be soft and put you in position, and the man who you really want, a high value, and I'm not, when I say high value, I'm not just talking financially. I'm talking about a man of God who gonna lead you in the right direction spiritually. Or Ephesians 5, man, you gotta take care of your part too. And again, that's how Kim Kardashian keep the man she gets. Like I say, she don't always keep him, but she can get him. Femininity and sex appeal. But yeah, and that's all I wanted to say on that situation. The last situation I wanted to speak on, I'm gonna close this video because I think we've been going an hour and 10. But yeah, I'm gonna close this video, man. With this, I wanted to speak on change. That's one of the things I want to speak on, change. And you know, a lot of time, man, in our lives, sometimes in family situations, sometimes in relationships, we want people to change so much that we project change on them. Like, for example, I'm gonna give you an example. We haven't seen this person. This person may or may not be trying to change. We don't know, but they haven't did a certain thing in a while. So we automatically project that they have changed. And that's setting our own self up for failure. And whatever it be, it could be a family member, it could be a spouse, it can be a friend, it can be a coworker. What you have to always respect is people to be who you have to respect people to be loyal to themselves. And whoever that person is that you have seen their character through repetition, this who this person is, you have to believe them. You know, Kevin Gates said if they paint you a picture, don't let them paint you another one. Maya Angelou said, if somebody tell you or show you who they are, you believe them. And a lot of times when somebody we love, like I say, whether it's a family member, friend, or a spouse, we try to say, oh man, this person haven't did this in a long time, so they have changed. We haven't seen them do nothing. We haven't seen them try to go take no whatever it is, go seek God. We haven't seen them go try to seek no type of help for their issue, but just because they haven't struck in a while, we automatically think, oh, this person changed. And then after a while they haven't did something, they strike, and then now we hurt, we angry, we overreact, we get put in these situations because we projected change on a person who didn't show us or didn't prove us that they have changed. And I tell people, man, you got to be careful of that. You know, you don't hate nobody, you don't wish nobody well, you don't hold no grudges. But unless you see somebody openly changing from their actions, don't project your change on them. You're not God. You can't change them. As a matter of fact, you know what's so funny? And this was a funny thing. And I ain't gonna lie, I've been guilty of this, so I'm not gonna try to make it like I haven't. We try to change people, bro. And the funny thing is, we can't even change ourselves. We can't even change ourselves. Until we say, you know what, God, you know, people may say therapy, people may say rehab, which I don't believe in either one of those. I think that God is the only way, the only person who can fix you, because God is the person who created you. He's the manufacturer. You can get Band-Aid, but if you want true fixing, whatever you're dealing with, it could be anger issues, it can be drug use, it can be a criminal lifestyle, whatever you're into. or whatever this person is into, you're supposed to pray for this person. Pray for this person and don't stop praying. Matthew 7:7. Don't stop praying. And what God gonna do is He gonna tug at that person hard, and eventually that person may submit. They may fight God, but that's your job. The only thing you can do is pray for people. Only thing you can do is pray for yourself. But all of that saying, oh, well, this person haven't did that in a long time, so they change, and then this person do it, and you just flabbergasted. You want to overreact, you hurt, whatever feeling you go through about that is your fault because you didn't see this person change. And if you somebody who that I'm talking to, and you one of those people who haven't changed, you want to change, don't let nobody tell you about your walk. And especially I'm gonna speak on like if you changing and trying to become a Christian, your walk with God. Don't let nobody judge you or say, oh, because I know what I know is about people is soon as you post one scripture, soon as you get around your friends or whoever and say one time, all you have to say at one time, look, man, I'm trying to change. I'm trying to do things for the better. All of a sudden now they put a microscope on you and every little thing they gonna not if they fake, they gonna try to get you to not change. But if they not fake and they just fall back from you and they see you and you make one mistake, they gonna be, I thought you changed. I thought you changed. It's so funny to me that people do this. And these people that are do it doesn't matter what I'm saying. Say when you trying to get on your weight loss journey. Let's just use that for example. You have people who you get on your weight loss journey or you get on your Christian walk and you get on it, you walk and you fall. You constantly getting up and you falling. You constantly getting up and you falling. And it'll be people who sitting down, people who laying down and never got up and even try to take your walk judging you. Pay them no mind. That is the enemy. Pay them no mind. But man, that like I say, man, there's only one person that can permanently change you, and that's God. Therapist, that's a band-aid. Drugs is a band-aid. Relationship is a band-aid. Rehab, whatever you dealing with, even if you go to jail, that's a band-aid. If you not changed here, whatever it is, you're gonna do it again. I don't care if it takes 3, 4, 5, 6 years along the line. So stop trying to project change on people who you didn't even see try to change. They never tried to take no walk and say, hey man, I'm gonna try to give my life to God. I'm gonna try to I'm gonna try to. They never tried. They stayed in their mess, fight with the devil, playing in the dirt with the devil, because that's all you doing, playing in the dirt with him. You're gonna continue to get more and more dirtier. And like I say, these things sometimes compound, and when they strike, because you thought, oh, they changed because they haven't dealt with that. Like I say, this is a universal thing. Whether you talking about a relationship, whether you talking about a spouse, whether you talking about a troubled child, whatever you dealing with. Until you see. Now, when you see this person, don't judge them because they might try to change and still slip up. Because I know a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll say, you know what, I'm trying to change, and they'll just try to stop doing stuff cold turkey. And what happens is after a while, they what you call it when you they relapse. And it'd be worse because they wasn't ready. When you come to God, you just come to God, bro. Matthew 6:33. Seek ye first the kingdom and his righteousness. Get yourself ready and say, look, you make your mind up and say, look, I need you to change me, God. Because this is universal. I don't care what it is, whether it's a drug habit, a thieving habit, a criminal, what God is universal. And so, look, God, I'm trying to change, and you pray. If it's hard for you to pray, just wake up in the morning. Thank you, God, for waking me up to see another day with all my health and strength. Thank you for my home. Thank you for my children with all their health and strength. Thank you for my vehicle. People don't be knowing how blessed they is to have children with all their health and strength. You know how many people every day is praying that their child make it? They getting 30 surgeries at St. Jude and all these hospitals. It's a blessing to have healthy children. But you thank God when you wake up in the morning, first and foremost, for waking you up and for all the stuff you can think of. Right? Then you ask him to be with you throughout that day. Lord, hold my hand with your righteous right hand throughout this day, everywhere I go. And I promise you, your day is gonna begin to change. And not only is your day gonna begin to change, you're gonna want to spend more time with God. And the more time with God you spend, the more familiar He is the more familiar He is hearing your voice. The more familiar He is with hearing your voice. So when you go to Him for something big, He's familiar with your voice. Oh, God familiar with all our voices. He created us. Yes, you're right about that. But I'm saying familiar with your voice for something other than going to Him, just asking Him for something. Just like you don't want nobody to do you. We created in God's image. And of course, God is way better than us. But we created His image. And you don't want nobody calling you just when they need something. So God don't take that kindly either. But He gooder than people. So of course, He may accept it. He may still look out for you. But I'm just saying, you want to have that relationship with Him. Philippians 4:6 should be your life. Thank God for what you did and send your petition up for what you need. And He gonna give you peace when you do those things. And I think that's all I got to say. But like I say, I thank y'all for coming out, man. It was a good show. I liked the show. I think I said everything I wanted to say. And we got some good stuff we're gonna talk about Monday for the next live. Because like I said, I won't be able to do Friday's live because I'll be on a business trip. But again, I'll be back in time for Monday's live. And because I didn't give y'all my Tuesday and Thursday videos of my series called Black People This Is Why, I will release 2 tomorrow. So I thank y'all for watching me, man. And I'm out with the intro, with the outro. I love y'all, man. Take it easy.
Only reason I do this shit cause the real niggas asked me to. A fake nigga couldn't relate to me. Top gunners, check me out. Only us, check me out. Strap her with a kilo, check me out. Put her on the bus, check me out. Stand up nigga, check me out. Always 100, check me out. You can bring the work back, check me out. If you don't want it, check me out. See, mama love me, that's my baby, but papa left me. Yeah, he left me. I put a bitch on timeout if she upset me. That's a fact. Fuck with me, you won't regret me. Still on the mind of every hoe trying to forget me. I get them things across the border. Your man on trial, but you won't go get him a lawyer. What's up with that? You popping bottles, you getting fly, but you don't send commissary to niggas that's inside. See, we don't coincide, we don't live by the same rules. And we don't got hungry, these lanes became full. Real niggas in my corner, you know that I can't lose. And I can't go to jail for a body they can't prove. Got niggas in the fence, they never coming home. Can't never see they daughter, only talking through a phone. And you know we screaming free you forever. Treat your kids like they mine. Wait your turn, real nigga. You get rich in due time. I feel like Nino when he first opened the Carter. Check me out. I feel like Tony when him and Sosa became partners. Check me out. Bring me out crab legs and grilled shrimp for starters. Filet me young for my main meal. I'm a mobster. Ruger rap. Top gunner, check me out. Only us, check me out. Strap her with a kilo, check me out. Put her on the bus, check me out. Stand up nigga, check me out. Always 100, check me out. You can bring the work back, check me out. If you don't want it, check me out.